Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 6. Tonight, building blunder. Residents raising safety concerns after paramedics were called to an infill.
We need to have a lot of these investigated and brought up to compliance.
Accessible intelligence. How AI is helping a student with cerebral palsy navigate and communicate.
He was able to do all these things that before that were just so difficult for him to do.
And making it up to Mandrusiak, the Elks honoring an equipment manager who was let go ahead of his 50th season.
I never expected that this would ever come to fruition.
I hope you enjoyed the sunshine today because we may not see it again until sometime next week. Heavy rain on the way for both Saturday and Sunday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
People who live in a West Central Edmonton neighborhood say some new builds are limiting access in emergencies. The concerns come after a call to a multiplex on Monday. Paramedics left their stretcher away from the door ahead of a window well that violates the building code. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Every second counts in an emergency. Some people in the Grosvenor neighborhood worry precious seconds were lost Monday because paramedics couldn't get their stretcher to the door of a basement suite in this Infill 8-plex.
Not all of us agree with these large multiplexes, but something that I think everybody can agree on is that you're compliant.
Community League VP Greg McDonald says the window wells on the sidewalks leading to the side entrances are not compliant with city bylaws. The city's design guide states they need to be flush with the sidewalk and covered with a hatch that can be walked on and easily opened from below.
We need to have a lot of these investigated and brought up to compliance before we have a big emergency.
Alberta Emergency Health Services tells CTV it safely transported the patient Monday evening and staff did not report any obstructions that caused a delay or concern. Still, infill is a topic Councillor Reid Clark hears about often, including code compliance.
This is really serious stuff, and it could be, a safety issue and a health issue for people who are living in these units, and maybe they don't even know it.
The city reviews building applications to ensure designs meet zoning, building, and safety codes. A spokesperson tells CTV the city's fire rescue services team also reviews infill development applications to ensure entrances are located to accommodate firefighting equipment and emergency access. But designs aren't always built exactly as planned. Councillor Clark says the city wants to hear about violations, even if it's only a hunch.
I think it's beyond fair for residents to say, hey, can you make sure that this is compliant?
The city has confirmed its new coordinated construction accountability team is investigating the window wells. Meanwhile, the Grosvenor Community League is fielding complaints that go beyond this.
This is basic building code stuff and it's basic bylaw stuff that everyone should be aware of if they're a builder, and they should be compliant with it.
In this case, McDonald says trimming the tin and covering the hole would do it. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
And the city would not disclose who built the property for privacy reasons. CTV News has reached out to the company identified by neighbors, but we have not received a response. The body of a worker who drove a crane truck off a bridge near Grand Prairie still hasn't been recovered. The crash happened around 9 a.m. Tuesday on Highway 40. Mounties say a large commercial vehicle went off the bridge and remains submerged in the Wapiti River. They say divers haven't been able to access the site because the current has been too strong. Occupational Health and Safety says the crane truck driver died. Federal OHS staff and police are investigating. A teenager is facing an attempted murder charge after a knife attack at a high school in Calgary. Police say Lester B. Pearson High School was put into lockdown yesterday after reports of a teenager with a knife. He was allegedly smashing property, threatening students and staff, and attempted to stab another student. Police say once officers arrived, they found and arrested a 17-year-old in about 6 minutes. Investigators believe it was a premeditated attack targeting certain people. The school board is offering support services to anyone affected. The federal government says it's carefully reviewing Alberta's new health regulations, which allows people to pay out of pocket for elective surgeries. Those include knee, hip, and cataract surgeries, gynecological surgeries, and minimally invasive general surgeries such as hernia repair. The regulations also allow surgeons to work in both the public and private systems. The government says those that do both will be required to work a minimum amount of time in the public system. And that minimum time will depend on the doctor. The Canadian Health Coalition calls this the worst violation it's seen of the Canada Health Act. The federal legislation ensures all Canadians have reasonable access to care without barriers.
It opens things up to queue jumping, like massive amounts of queue jumping by people who have money or who are prepared to bankrupt their retirement to get the care they need because they're suffering. And it also opens up healthcare to U.S. insurance companies eventually.
The Federal Health Ministry says the government is listening to concerns and will always uphold the Canada Health Act. It says Health Canada is taking the time to review the regulations and engage with officials to better understand the potential impacts. The union that will soon represent Alberta health inspectors says the province's latest offer is unfair to some of its workers. Next month, hundreds of public health workers will be transferred out of Alberta Health Services, becoming government employees. They'll then be represented by the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees and must negotiate a transition agreement. The AUPE says the latest offer from the province will let some workers keep their current working conditions and pay, but not others. The union says the government has not offered a reason for the decision.
Workers who have dedicated their lives to protecting Albertans in one capacity or other need to be considered. Their compensation cannot be reduced by a stroke of a pen. Their lives cannot be negatively impacted by arbitrary decisions.
The AUPE says it has tabled a counteroffer. The province says its focus is on supporting employees while maintaining services and will have more to say in the coming days. The Canadian Mental Health Association in Edmonton is offering free courses to help people navigate Alberta's transition to a new disability support system. In July, thousands of Albertans receiving assured income for the severely handicapped, also known as AISH, will be moved to a new program. Under the Alberta Disability Assistance Benefit, many recipients will receive less money every month. The program allows recipients to work more hours and still receive the benefit. The courses aim to help people understand the change. It walks them through reapplying for AISH or accessing other resources.
When you're working through it, it can be really overwhelming, and we really are here to help people, and so people don't have to feel like this is a scary change. There's a lot of uncertainty about it, but having information, having knowledge, that's what helps reduce that anxiety around it.
The next course is next Thursday. It runs from 1 in the afternoon until 4 p.m. CMHA also offers one-on-one peer support services, and anyone struggling can call 211 for help at any time. A student in Beaumont is ready to face the world thanks to new technology. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
His face is all 13-year-old Liam Danzero needs to control his laptop.
I open my mouth. It clicks. I smile and it resets it.
It wasn't always this easy for the grade 7 student who has cerebral palsy.
The less movement for him, the easier it is to not get so tired. So switches will tire him out.
We were struggling for a long time with Liam and the proper way to get him engaged in class because, he was using switches, which are difficult.
The school division's technology expert was determined to find a way to make learning easier for Liam.
I saw the Google blog talking about face control, and I just watched the video of someone using their face, and I just thought, Liam could use this instantly.
It means Liam doesn't have to hit the switches on his wheelchair to navigate the computer anymore. Just moving the cursor to hit one link required multiple switch hits.
The first time he used it, he was awesome at it. He was able to scroll, he was able to click links, he was able to do all these things that before that were just so difficult for him to do. And it was like an instant change in how he interacted with tech.
100%. Better.
Technology that means independence for Liam. He no longer has to rely on his educational assistant to write everything for him.
Just seeing him being able to thrive and do so well in the classroom and be like the rest of his classmates. It's amazing.
That's why we want, if there's even one other student in Canada who can, use these tools, that's the goal.
Liam's reading skills and grades are improving.
From a young age, I was hoping, that technology would help Liam through his life.
It's not only helped, but as Liam learns more about technology, the more he sees it being part of a future career. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Beaumont.
Well, Team Scotland lost today during today's World Cup match against Morocco. It didn't stop the Tartan Army in our city from cheering them on.
It's not so much for the result. Being a Scotland supporter, that's very true for us. It's about taking part. It's about singing out loud and either celebrating or commiserating with like-minded Scottish lunatics.
And sing they did. The Edmonton Scottish Society watch party was fully sold out. Morocco ended up in a repeat of the last time the teams met in the World Cup in 1998, taking the win. Today's final score was 1-0 for Morocco. A key member of the Edmonton Elks will be honored ahead of the team's home opener at Commonwealth Stadium tomorrow. He's not a player, but he has been a key contributor to the team for 50 seasons. CTV's Evan Kenny has more.
Roy Bell is gone, the first touchdown of the Grey Cup game.
Through the different rosters,
It's just been exciting.
Team names, and even stadiums, one person has been constant in Edmonton football.
There's Dwayne Mandrusiak, longtime legendary equipment manager.
You may not recognize him, but Dwayne Mandrusiak has been a part of the team for 5 decades.
I used to joke I was going to be here 50 years, and then I woke up one day and it was 50 years was right around the corner. So, but it's been it's a dream job.
He started as the team's ball boy at 14 years old, working his way up to the head equipment manager. Now Mandrusiak is a team historian and community ambassador. Over his time with the Green and Gold, he's won 11 Grey Cup championships, the love and respect from the people around him.
Dwayne is the Eskimo way. When you talk about the brotherhood and the way things are done around here and in this community, it's Dwayne Mandrusiak.
He treats you the way you want to be treated, and in return, you're going to treat him the same and more, because he's just that type of guy.
Mandrusiak, or Pops as the players call him, will be honored on the field during the Elks home opener.
I've always liked to be more comfortable being at the back of the room than the front. And so I never expected that this would ever come to fruition.
Mandrusiak was let go by the team in 2020 with management citing financial reasons. After public backlash, new management brought him back 4 years later.
I never took one day of work here for granted. I had a good opportunity and I made the most of it. When I look back at my career, I got lucky to be here 5 in a row and a bunch of other things, but it's the people you meet along the way that make it special.
Mandrusiak was added to the EE Builders Wall 2 years ago. It's the team's highest acknowledgement for a non-player. He will be honored again tomorrow at halftime.
There's no place I'd rather be than right here, right now, folks.
Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Josh, I had a friend of mine asking me if I'd like to go to that game tomorrow. I said, I think I'm going to sit this one out. It sounds like it's going to be a real soaker on Saturday.
Yeah, you know what? There is a window right around game time where it may actually kind of, I don't want to say dry up, but it's not going to be a monsoon. It's not going to be beautiful, but I don't think it's going to be a monsoon during game time. The heaviest of the rain probably comes through overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning, then a bit of a gap, and then tomorrow night into Sunday. Some more heavy, steady rain. We'll see how that plays out. I get to that in a little more detail in a moment. 21 degrees downtown Edmonton right now. It was a nice day today. After we got rid of the cloud cover this morning, sunshine came out, and we actually jumped all the way up to 22 for a daytime high. Started the day at 8 degrees this morning. This is what it looks like outside right now after a sunny afternoon. Yeah, clouds have started to move back in. We actually have some showers and thunderstorms just north of the city, but I don't think we'll see any of that through this evening. Should be a beautiful evening. Overnight tonight, the rain starts to move in. You can see up around Redwater, Smoky Lake, we've got a little thunderstorm cell. Another one off to the northwest of Whitecourt. But look way back into BC, up around Prince George. There's an area of low pressure there that's going to sweep east, and that has prompted this. 2 levels to the rainfall warning. In the blue zone, 50 to 90 millimeters, a yellow level rainfall warning. An elevated orange level rainfall warning for areas east of Edmonton, not just because of the heavier rain, but the higher risk of overland flooding because of how saturated the ground is east of the city. It'll be windy. It'll be cool tomorrow, high of about 15 degrees. But I think through the early afternoon hours, the rain should sort of let up a little bit before it comes back in a big way tomorrow night into Sunday. We'll talk potential rainfall totals in just a few minutes.
Maybe I'll take my buddy up on his offer after all. Josh, thanks very much. Coming up next on CTV News, Grief Guide.
It rewires the brain when you write about the trauma, when you write about the grief.
How a local father is helping other grieving dads ahead of Father's Day. Plus, a little later on CTV News at 6.
The internet absolutely loved it.
An Alberta farmer crocheting clothing for her cows and goats.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by K-Days. The best 10 days of summer are back.
Father's Day is Sunday. It's a bittersweet day for dads dealing with the death of a child. A father in Edmonton decided to create a support group for men in that situation who often feel they must put their grief aside to be strong for their families. CTV's Nara Manisa has more.
The story's different, but the space is the same.
Azure Urbani describes himself as a grief guide. He provides a safe space for grieving fathers dealing with the death of a child.
The framework allows them to sit in a safe space where they're not judged, they don't have to explain, they don't have to perform, they just write and they share.
Urbani's workshop focuses on writing.
What writing does is it rewires the brain when you write about the trauma, when you write about the grief.
His grief stems from the stillbirth of a child in 2005.
It's that decision between a supporter and a griever. And I decided that I'm going to be there for my kids. I had three sons at the time, and for my wife. And my grief didn't matter.
Urbani launched the group Still Dad, a program that includes a chance to talk to other grieving dads.
It hasn't been easy, but it could have been a lot harder.
Beloy Martinez recently joined the Still Dad group. His 23-year-old son Evan was killed when he was hit by a car while skateboarding.
It's been a very long time since I've been able to get in the car, hear a good song, think about my boy at the same time, have a good cup of coffee, and not just be totally broken.
Urbani says it's important for men to not suffer in silence.
And it's that safe space to be able to lay down their grief and to share it with another father or another man who, doesn't, where they don't need any explanation. They don't need to explain themselves. They're not judged.
He hopes by sharing his story, he can provide the encouragement for other fathers to do the same. Nara Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
A local author has created a book for seniors with dementia. Helen Matella wrote Marika and the Auction, inspired by her experience with her own mother who has dementia. Reading is a way for the pair to connect, but Matella noticed many picture books were for children. She told CTV Your Morning she wanted to write something that reflected her mother's cognitive ability and her age.
The whole premise is I don't expect her to say or do anything. I carry the conversation when I read her the book. I can tell side stories off the pictures, and that means that a person with dementia doesn't feel bad because they can't answer your question because their brain processor is slow.
Matella has written 2 other books and plans to write more with men as the main characters. Many communities in Edmonton started Indigenous Peoples Day celebrations early. The official day is Sunday, but events were held across our city today. CTV's Curtis Goodroom takes us to 3 of them.
A lineup of people waiting for a meal.
Saskatoon berries.
All of them coming together for an early celebration of National Indigenous Peoples Day at the Bissell Centre. Some elders say events like this brings people in the community closer together.
When you bring honor into it, a place, you relate to them.
and you communicate. It tells them that they are valuable.
And a lot of people who come to us are coming in like sad situations, and we want to make sure that we're able to celebrate joy and health and wellness with everyone.
At the River Cree, local artists are selling their goods.
It's showcasing Indigenous arts, it's showcasing Indigenous talent, and it really is economic reconciliation.
The artists here have a chance to reach a wide audience and share their perspectives.
I hold this near and dear to my heart. A lot of my artwork does come from inspirations of Mother Earth and our Indigenous designs and teachings, but my artwork is actually meant for everybody to wear.
Everybody was in learning mode at Nellie Carlson School. Students went to 8 different stations to discover different Indigenous cultures and practices.
Our theme this year has been connection. So when we're talking about Indigenous Day, we're talking about all days. And it's important that everyone feels included and feels safe.
What's been your favorite part about today?
Going in the teepee.
I really enjoyed the powwow dancing. I thought it was really interesting. I find it a really beautiful art form, and I think it's really neat.
National Indigenous Peoples Day is on Sunday. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
When we return, summer skiing.
To be skiing in June, especially in the middle of June, is unbelievable. I'm so stoked.
How a ski hill in Banff plans to remain open past Canada Day, also just ahead. How you can explore Canada's national parks for free this summer.
The Super Soaker is coming back. You remember how we started June with a couple days of heavy, steady rain? We're going to end spring and start summer on the same note. Full forecast after this.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Hey, Nate.
Okay, grade 5s. What's happening on Sunday? Sunday is the first day of summer. That's right, the longest day of the year. And the reason we get so much more daylight on that day is because we're tilted towards the sun in our orbit. You know how when you see a globe, the globe is always tilted? That's because out in space, the Earth is tilted. And so when it orbits around the sun, it's a little bit closer here at A, but when we're closer, is that actually summer for us? No, because the northern hemisphere is tilted away. Over here, where we're tilted towards the sun's rays spend more time up in the sky. We get about 17 hours of daylight on Sunday. You know how many hours we get on the shortest day of the year? About 7.5 hours of daylight, so a lot longer. And it's all as we're orbiting around because of the tilt of the Earth's axis. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. Okay, so again, Sunday's the first day of summer. These are the grade 5s from Avonmore. That's right, smart grade 5s out here at Avonmore. Weather whiz kids, and you are
Weather Watchers brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
Accessing national parks will be free this summer through the Canada Strong Pass. The pass also includes a discount on camping fees and via rail tickets. Alberta is participating in the program, which means free admission to provincial museums and historic sites for kids 17 and under. People 18 to 24 get a 50% discount. There's no need to sign up and no physical or virtual pass is required. The pass is good from today until September 7th. While Edmonton prepares for another round of torrential rain, Sunshine Village is welcoming the summer solstice with a snowier scene. The Banff Resort got so much snow over the winter, it will be open past Canada Day. CTV's Jordan Canagan reports from the slopes.
Grab your goggles, step into your skis, and put on your shorts and a t-shirt. Summer skiing has arrived in the Canadian Rockies.
And when we got to the end of our ski season, we're looking around and we said, holy macromoly, we still have a ton of snow left. It is a certainty that we'll be able to open for summer skiing.
Sunshine Village in Banff National Park is open to snowboarders and skiers from June 20th to July 5th. The hill receiving more than 1,000 centimeters of snow during the winter season.
We basically had the CAT operating daily throughout from the time we closed until now to push snow, move snow, pack down the snow that we have to make it skiable because conditions do change.
For the first time in 35 years, 2 chairlifts will operate for the summer ski. Standish and Strawberry, 7 runs, and 3 terrain parks will stay open for the 16 days as well.
Pretty amazing. I'm from Ontario and I moved to Canmore, so to be skiing in June, especially in the middle of June, is unbelievable. I'm so stoked.
Oh, it's fabulous. You're not cold. You don't need to worry about anything other than sunscreen.
Sunscreen and cowboy hats and a lot of denim.
We went all denim. The rodeo's coming up here, the Calgary Stampede, but we're a little bit early, and that's okay.
Now, Sunshine was also able to open for summer skiing in 2022, but only for 6 days. This year allows skiers and snowboarders to get their turns in for more than 2 weeks. Jordan Canigan, CTV News in Banff.
Josh, I'm not thrilled.
Cool.
It was pretty cool. I'm not thrilled it's going to be raining most of the weekend, but I think I'd rather have rain than snow at this point.
Yeah, 100%. Although we've certainly had more than our fair share of rain so far in June. Regardless, there is more on the way. Here's what it looks like outside right now. Enjoy this evening. 21 degrees as you look through the River Valley Skycam. Just mostly cloudy, and will stay just mostly cloudy until we get into the late evening overnight period. 20 in Fort McMurray for a high today, 19 in Grand Prairie. Jasper got all the way up to 23, 22 for the high here in Edmonton. Scattered showers and thunderstorms off to the north. You get a little bit of that smoke rolling into the Smoky Lake area. You've got some thunderstorms here off to the northwest of Whitecourt and north of Hinton. And then south of Grand Prairie, we've got some thunderstorms as well. And those are actually, well, they've kind of stalled out now. They were heading north towards Grand Prairie. Looks like they're going to stay just south of Grand Prairie. This is the big story, though. There's it's a pretty deep low, an upper level low stacked on top of a bit of a surface feature. That is going to rematerialize on the Alberta side of the Rockies. There's your rain starting to push in overnight. Heavy rain through this evening and through the overnight period back further to the west. This is 7 a.m. Starts to fill in pretty good. And here's what we're thinking. Midday, early afternoon, there may actually be a little bit of a break. Chance of some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms, especially to the south near the Red Deer region, down around Calgary. This is mostly, there might be some embedded thunderstorms in this little wall here of rain, but most of it's just rain. There's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening as it starts to fill back in around the Edmonton area. You can see some heavier pockets here off to the east and to the northeast. That rain, I mean, this low is going to take an awful long time to get out of here. So that rain may actually stick around not just until late Sunday, but we may still have some rain or at least some showers in place until Monday midday. That rain may stick around right through Monday morning. Heaviest of the rainfall by late tomorrow is going to be west of the Edmonton area. You've got, in some spots, upwards of 90 millimeters worth of rain. In these areas here off to the east, you could see over 100 millimeters worth of rain. I think in Edmonton, we probably get about 40 to 70, but there could be parts of the Edmonton area that closer to 100. Here's your yellow rainfall warning in the blue zones. Again, in general, 50 to 90 millimeters, 70 to 100 in general in this red area. This is an orange level rainfall warning. It's a heightened alert. Not so much because of the difference in rainfall totals, although there will probably be more here off to the east. It's just that this area is pretty close to saturated. And so that much rain on ground that just can't absorb it, you're likely going to see some overland flooding in that area. And I think you may even see that extended off further to the northeast by late tomorrow or into Sunday. It's 21 degrees in Edmonton right now. We'll see temperatures overnight tonight drop to about 11. Some heavy rain overnight, early tomorrow morning. Eases up a little bit, I think, midday, early afternoon, although it will still be cool and windy, gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour. And after 20 to 40 millimeters tomorrow, another 30 to 60 potentially on Sunday. And windy again, and even cooler. 13 on Sunday. We're back into the 20s, though, it looks like by Tuesday, Wednesday.
What a summer welcome. Josh, thanks very much. Still to come tonight on CTV News, a hat trick of FIFA firsts.
In World Cup history, there's never been such a dominant performance.
Team Canada reaches 3 major milestones during its victory over Qatar at the World Cup. Plus,
any issue in the society is very complicated. It's unfair to only blame newcomers.
Why some Albertans are more concerned with the province's referendum questions unrelated to separation.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
In Lebanon, Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to renew their ceasefire following an escalation in fighting. Lebanon says Israeli airstrikes killed 47 people, while 4 Israeli soldiers were killed in Hezbollah attacks. The deadly exchanges have created uncertainty about the timing of negotiations between the United States and Iran. Talks between the two sides scheduled for today in Switzerland were postponed as the fighting flared. Tehran has insisted on an end to the hostilities in Lebanon as one of the conditions for a broader U.S.-Iran peace deal. While most people are talking about the separation issue on Alberta's upcoming referendum, more than half of the questions focus on a different topic: immigration. As CTV's Kathy Lee reports, questions about limiting newcomers and restricting services are unsettling to some looking to call Alberta home.
This is going good, thank you.
Eager and determined, Ishraq Molla is looking for his next opportunity at this newcomer fair in Calgary.
Looking for something in accounting or finance.
After coming to Canada 4 years ago to study business administration, Molla is now on a work permit, but recently lost his job.
You do feel bad for being let go, but you just have to get back up again. The job market is tough.
Adjusting in a new country was also tough, but support services helped him find his footing. Now, some of those supports are at the center of 5 immigration questions on Alberta's fall referendum ballot that could change which newcomers are eligible for some provincially funded services, including healthcare and education.
If the government does not support us, then who will? We do not have anyone else.
Smith has blamed former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's immigration policies for Alberta's population surge. But in early 2024, she was encouraging more people to move here.
Let's have an aggressive target to double our population.
Rapid population growth felt across the country has prompted Ottawa to curb immigration, citing strains on housing and public services. In Alberta, those same pressures are also being felt by settlement organizations. But the CEO of the Immigrant Education Society says the challenges facing the province are complex.
Any issue in the society is very complicated. It's unfair to only blame newcomers.
For Molla, he says he has felt very welcomed in Canada.
I've integrated myself into the society
and wants other newcomers to have the same experience. For now, his focus is building the life he came here for.
I've seen a lot of people succeed,
and he hopes one day he'll be one of them. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
The Canadian men's soccer team is celebrating a number of FIFA firsts. Last night was the team's first World Cup win, first hat-trick, and the first time Canada has been in a position to advance to the next round. CTV's Heather Wright has more on the squad's rise.
One day after the biggest day in the history of Canadian men's soccer, the team took to the training pitch at the University of British Columbia. The mood, bittersweet. A blowout 6-0 win over Qatar, which came with the loss of star Ismail Kone, who broke his leg in yesterday's match.
I was really proud of the team to feel the emotion, but also stay focused on the task at hand.
The task at hand was to win, which the team did decisively.
In World Cup history, there's never been such a dominant performance. That's the truth. And so I think our team will take a lot of confidence from that.
It's the first World Cup win ever for the men's team in only its 3rd appearance. Up until this year, the Canadian men had never earned a World Cup point, a sign of how far the program has come.
This team checked a lot of boxes in the past couple of years, and the way and the fashion that we did was something that we're very proud.
Following the game, the Prime Minister visited the team's dressing room, praising their character.
But you showed a level of character that some people never achieve in their life.
A question going into this tournament, is Canada now a footballing nation? Based on the crowd yesterday and the result on the field, the answer seems to be an emphatic yes.
It was a tremendous sign. We don't have to hold our breath anymore or bite our nails. We're there.
From the outset, the goal of this team has been to win their group, which would allow them to remain in Vancouver for the first match of the knockout stage. To do that, they need at least a draw against Switzerland, a game that goes Wednesday in Vancouver. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
It's game on at GameCon. Gamers, guests, and developers from across the country are in Edmonton to check out the latest in gaming. The convention showcases international studios as well as local talent. Edmonton-based indie developers COG Studios are playtesting their horror game, Our Eyes See No Evil. The game was designed with an innovative mechanic requiring players to close their eyes in order to progress.
And to have a hub for the industry as well, where we get to network and talk to potential publishers and people who do marketing to help us try to get our game out there.
Tomorrow, GameCon will have its cosplay day, welcoming superfans dressed as their favorite characters. The final day on Sunday has been reserved for an esports tournament. Coming up next on CTV News, cancer coverage.
I lost 7 people in 18 months. I mean, this drug could have been available for them.
Myeloma patients across Alberta hoping a breakthrough treatment could soon be publicly funded. Here's a look at the markets on this Friday evening. The Canadian dollar trading above 70 cents U.S. U.S. stocks and commodity markets were closed for the Juneteenth holiday. The TSX lost 111 points on the day. The federal government is adding a 10% tariff on canned vegetables entering the country. It will be in place for a maximum of 200 days while officials explore whether increased imports are hurting domestic processors. The tariff will be stopped if they find that's not the case. Several countries are excluded from the tariff, including the United States and Mexico. Multiple myeloma patients across Alberta are hoping a breakthrough cancer treatment could soon become publicly funded. The one-time therapy could keep some patients in remission for years. As CTV's Mark Villani reports, patients say time is running out for people who have few treatment options left.
You know what? I didn't think I was going to get the chance.
The chance to watch her daughter grow up, to travel to Scotland with her elderly father, and to live her dream of being a grandmother. All of it nearly vanished following a trip to the hospital.
My oncologist said, "Oh my goodness, your rib cage lit up like a Christmas tree."
Laura Lee Dalrymple was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 17 years ago. It's the second most common blood cancer in Canada, and there is no cure.
I've had numerous rounds of radiation. I've had fractures. I've had breaks. I've had a metal rod put in my femur to prevent a break.
But a breakthrough one-time treatment is out there. In 2023, Health Canada approved Carvykti, a type of CAR T-cell therapy that uses a patient's own immune cells to target and attack cancerous cells. It's shown potential to keep some patients in remission for years. The only problem, it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's not publicly funded anywhere in Canada.
The beauty of this treatment is that it's a once and done. So you could be treatment free for a long, long time, which saves the healthcare system a lot of money.
For now, the Pan-Canadian Pharmaceutical Alliance is continuing price negotiations with the drug maker of Carvykti, Johnson & Johnson. Our negotiation team has been dedicated to this file and has remained engaged throughout the process. As negotiations are two-way streets, we unfortunately don't have a timeline to share with you. Meanwhile, the 2-year delay is already a matter of life or death for some multiple myeloma patients.
I lost 7 people in 18 months. I mean, this drug could have been available for them.
When you're you're on your last line of treatment and there's nowhere else to go, that would save their lives.
Alberta's government says it hopes discussions can move forward, but that public funding for Carvykti isn't possible without an agreement. It means clinical trials or paying exorbitant amounts of money out of pocket stand as the only options.
Keep pushing your doctors, keep pushing your politicians.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
And the province says patients should work with their oncology teams to determine the best available treatment options as price negotiations continue. A new campaign is trying to stop the ongoing syphilis outbreak in Edmonton in a community that can be overlooked. The community-based research centre launched a series of resources to help people and health providers better understand prevention, testing, and treatment. The centre says the gap in prevention continues to largely affect people in the LGBTQ2S+ community and is tailoring the resources accordingly.
That's key because it's important that community-based organizations, healthcare providers, the health systems, and communities affected by syphilis have the resources that they need to mount a sustained response, right? And so I think that's what we really need now. We are beginning to see some progress.
CBRC staff will be at Pride events across the province this summer to reduce stigma, educate, and encourage testing. WestJet says it's working to accommodate passengers who are on a flight from Denver to Calgary that never got off the ground.
Both tires are blown, so I guess are we just sitting on no rims?
That's affirm. Both tires are blown on your left main.
The plane's tires blew yesterday afternoon, moments before the WestJet flight was going to take off. Pilots stopped the plane and declared an emergency. Passengers had to board buses back to the terminal. When we return, crocheting for her cow.
It brought so many smiles to people, which really made me smile.
An Alberta farmer stitching together custom clothing for her livestock.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV. Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
A hobby farmer from Vulcan County has found new models for her crocheted clothing. After making sweaters for her baby goats, she started a new project inspired by her retired dairy cow, Josie. CTV's Carson Marsook shows us what she's making.
Inside her Vulcan County home, Jasmine Entz spends her downtime crocheting sweaters for her goats.
When they're newborn, a lot of times they kind of struggle to maintain temperature at birth. So I would put them on these little teeny tiny sweaters that were like too small for a cat.
Once each sweater was done, Entz would have leftover yarn until an idea popped in her head.
And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I made one for the cow?
And so it began. Outside, retired dairy cow Josie serves as the inspiration and model for each sweater.
And I would go out there every day and I would put it on her and see how it fit, and then if I needed to backtrack, I could undo it and redo it.
Spending roughly 30 hours on the sweater, she posted her work to social media.
The internet absolutely loved it. Like, it brought so many smiles to people, which really made me smile, because that was kind of the whole point, is, you know, it'll be fun.
And that only fueled the project to grow bigger. Entz says people told her to create a calendar of Josie wearing a different sweater for each month. So now she's crocheting one sweater a month with a hope to have 12 by the end of the year.
This is my July one for Canada Day.
Last year, Entz's other steer, Beef, caught national attention as the world's tallest steer. While thrilled with showing Beef to the world, she says now it's Josie's turn for the spotlight.
To me, she's just such a special animal that I'm excited that the internet saw exactly how special she really was.
Carson Marsook, CTV News, Vulcan County.
You might want to make that cow a rain jacket for this weekend.
Yeah, can I get that in like Teflon? It's gonna be a little windy for the next 2 days, a little wet as well. As we said earlier in the newscast, I do think there's a break for a couple of hours tomorrow where it's more like just scattered showers, but all told 20 to 40 millimeters tomorrow, another 30 to 60 potentially on Sunday, and that rain may continue into Monday morning. It will get warmer Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week.
Why couldn't we have that mid-week weather this weekend? I'll take the rain during the week when I'm stuck here in the studio,
next
Josh.
Weekend too.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Josh, thanks very much, I guess. That's our show. Have a great weekend. See you tonight at 11:30.